No, don't even start with that shit.
By my calculations, it's a girl.
What? Alright, so we have made it up to the 2014 live-action release of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and let's just say it's nowhere near as good as the original 3. Yes, I am including the third one in on that. And I'll be honest with you, it actually took me, I think, 3 or 4 goes to actually finish watching this movie. First time I watched it, I didn't even get halfway through the movie. Second time, got halfway, and then third time I just eventually, I can't remember how many times I actually attempted to finish the movie, but eventually I did. That was when I actually watched it for the first time. Rewatching it for this review, I guess was easier somehow because I knew what was coming, and we don't even get 10 minutes into the movie, and we already get a over-sexualized scene of a instructor and Megan Fox exercising on camera in what is described to be a sexual, like, sort of workout or whatever this idiot is talking about. To be honest, something like that would not be advertised on the news. Only in a Michael Bay film. Just to clarify though, he didn't actually direct this movie, although he is very much present. He's more present in this movie than the Ninja Turtles are. Now, the movie clearly sets up the Foot as, like, the mob or something in this movie that the mayor and the police are trying to track down and take down. We also get April stumble upon the Foot when one of the turtles, couldn't actually see which one it was, but one of the turtles interrupts this deal going on with the Foot that April also stumbles upon. And in this scene where we first see the turtle, plural, well, one of them, I don't know, we see one of them fight the Foot in the shadows. We don't get to see the turtles, we don't get to see anything that's actually happening. It's pretty much just one of the turtles knocking the shit out of a pretty large group of foot soldiers. And I think one of the turtles throws a shipping container at them. Like, what? First of all, I have a big problem with this as a Ninja Turtles fan because a turtle should not be able to throw a fucking shipping container, and B, this doesn't set up the tension between the turtles and the Foot like I am used to, and like it really should set up. The Foot should be a menacing presence, a threat that the turtles have to figure out how to defeat. You know, the turtles should always be the underdogs in this story, not throwing fucking shipping containers at foot soldiers. So I've mentioned before in one of my previous Ninja Turtles reviews that I didn't really like Megan Fox in the sequel, Out of the Shadows, and that I also didn't really like her in this movie either, which is obvious, but I never really explained why I didn't like her, and for the most part it's because that she doesn't display emotion the way a normal person would in these situations. Like, whenever she's excited about something because she's supposedly excited about, you know, reporting the news and finding that story, kind of like, you know, Lois Lane, Megan Fox never actually portrays that passion the way a person in this situation would. Also, when she's supposedly scared, like when she's been held hostage, it doesn't feel like she's scared. It's just a blank, she just doesn't give a shit. To be honest, I thought she was better in Transformers. And I'm being serious about that. Might that have something to do with her acting? I don't know. Maybe it was just this movie, it being another Michael Bay film, and she was like, yeah, fuck it. I'll just put in, you know, 1%. Also, William Fichtner, the guy who I remember from The Dark Knight, he's kind of like the second main villain in this movie. He also gives a very emotionless performance, very bland, like I don't believe anything he's saying and I'm just bored every time he's on screen. The only one that I thought didn't give a bland performance was actually Lego Batman himself, Will Arnett. Just like he was in Lego Batman, he has a very particular sense of humor in the way, in how he delivers his dialogue. It's very funny. He is the funniest part of the movie. Besides the Turtles, I'd say, he's the most charismatic character in the film. Which isn't saying that much though, because the film itself is shit. So if everything else around him was not shit and not as bad as it was, then he actually would have been like the lesser part of the movie. He wouldn't have stood out as much, but because the movie is so shit, he stands out. And how fucking strange is that I'm saying that in a Ninja Turtles movie, the Ninja Turtles aren't the thing that stands out. It's this random dude. Alright, I guess seeing as we're on positives for this movie, I will say that the action scenes were thoroughly entertaining. They were filmed well and put together well. But that's all I can say about it. I do have a big gripe about this, I guess, because it does have a lot to do with the action scenes. It's mostly that the Turtles and Shredder are way too big. I don't know who looked at a Ninja Turtles movie and said, hey, they should be over 6 feet tall. They're teenagers. And don't even get me started on Robot Shredder. Fucking hell. Also, the Turtles just survive way too much. Like, at one point in the movie, I think they're bulletproof. Like, they may not be actual bullets. They may be, like, the things, they're not live rounds. They're things that, you know, knock them out. Because it knocked them out earlier in the movie. Yet, Raph is fucking bulletproof. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And they're throwing themselves into cars and the cars are being destroyed. It's like, no. Sure, it might make for an entertaining action scene, but I've grown up on a lot of Ninja Turtles. I know they can't do this shit. Also, one other plot hole, I guess, that I noticed in the movie is that when Shredder comes to their lair and he fights Splinter, Splinter says, Shredder. Like, he knows him somehow. But earlier in the movie, Splinter mentions the fact that all he remembers, or his earliest memories, are from him and the Turtles in the lab. So how would he have known the Shredder at all? What? Doesn't make any sense. I don't know, that's just a plot hole I noticed. So that's my review for the 2014 abomination of the Ninja Turtles. Just to be honest with you guys, I wanted to at least... I wanted to make a video about this movie because I reviewed the second one back in 2016, which I thought was actually better than this first one. And because I already reviewed that second one, because I'm a completionist, I need to review this piece of shit. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, please. And I will see you in my next video. I'll be honest with you, this movie... we also get one of the Turtles... Oh, hang on. Ew, gross. Sorry. Take two. We also get April stumble upon a foot... Oh, God.